Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone had a great week and is getting ready for the snow to fall this weekend. So I'm glad Monday's already a holiday for us. Remember, Tuesday is a late start, makeup day from the late start we had a couple of weeks ago. So I have a bunch of updates for us today. First, filing periods for candidates for district offices, school district offices. You can file anytime between January 23rd and 5 p.m. on February 1st. Number of positions on the ballot, 3 school board positions in Amherst, 3 for Sauhegan, 2 for Amherst, 1 for Mount Vernon, and 2 in Mount Vernon. There's also various moderator, treasurer, and clerk positions available in some of the different districts. There is going to be a fundraiser to support the Sauhegan robotics team. It's going to take place on Saturday, January 26th, 6:30 at Sauhegan High School. It's a comedy night, so please turn out and support the Sauhegan robotics team on January 26th. Congratulations to both of our Amherst Middle School basketball teams. Both the boys and the girls had to play yesterday and win their last regular season game in order to make the playoffs, and they both did. So congratulations to both of them. The middle school boys team was down a couple points with 30 seconds to go, hit a three-pointer, and had another basket by the other team almost go in twice, and they ended up winning the game. Very exciting game. So congratulations to both of our middle school basketball teams. Okay, a very important thing we're working on is our strategic plan. There was a strategic planning process 5, 6, 7 years ago, and it's time to do that again. And the SAU has hired a group called Battelle for Kids to help us in the development of our strategic plan. And so the first step is community involvement in that process. We really need you as our community members to show up and participate in that process. So the first opportunity that you have to participate is on January 30th, coming up in just a couple of weeks at Sauhegan High School from 6:30 till about 8:30. And it's going to be your chance to give us feedback about how you think we need to move forward with our strategic planning process. We'd like to have as many people as possible show up that evening. Teachers, parents, community members, students, you name it, we'd like you to be there. So again, January 30th, 6:30 at the high school. This process is going to unfold between now and June. It's going to be a relatively short process, only about 6 months worth of time, but it's going to be very helpful for us and how we move forward as a school system, and will influence not only the things that we do in our schools, but how we budget and the decisions we make for our kids. So please, please participate in this process and join us. All right, the rest of my time here this afternoon, I want to talk about the Amherst budget. Last week we talked about the Mount Vernon and the Sauhegan proposed budgets, and today is about Amherst. The Amherst budget is up significantly from last year, over 8% from last year's proposed budget. And so I want to take some time to walk through why that budget is up as much as it is. The default budget by itself is up nearly 7%. So here are some of the things in the default budget that add to our increase. Our SAU apportionment for Amherst is up about $88,000. That's the SAU's budget, and that's the portion that the Amherst School District pays for that. Special education transportation is up $50,000. Special education services across the district is up $91,000. Additional paraprofessional positions for students that require those paraprofessional and that support adds about another $98,000 to the budget. Teacher retirement, that is the fluctuation in the numbers of teachers who retire each year, adds about $218,000 to the budget. Teacher salary increases that were approved in last year's collective bargaining agreement that was passed by voters adds about $509,000. Employer paid benefits, all of the things we pay along with our salaries, are up about $400,000. And then our health insurance rates are up about 10.6%, and that's another $315,000 added to the default budget. So right there you can tell that's a significant amount of increase, none of which we have a lot of control over. In the proposed budget, there's a fairly narrowed spread or difference between the default budget and the proposed. And here are some of the things included in the proposed budget. First, in the facilities area, we need to replace a maintenance truck that we're not actually sure will make it through this winter season. Also, there's some storm drain repairs at the middle school that need to be done. Our contract increases for bus transportation are included in the proposed budget, and that's about $79,000 that's not in the default and no longer can be in the default budget. Salary adjustments, raises for all of our non-union people, so our custodians, facilities department, chef managers in our school kitchens, our technology department, and our administrators all have raises included in the budget that add about $39,000. Some special education services that aren't required by law but are still necessary, things like substitute teachers in special education and subs for paraprofessionals at about $35,000. Technology equipment is up about $25,000. And then finally, all other changes to the budget, which are largely instructional materials, supplies, materials, textbooks, etc., that go into our classrooms are up about $64,000. Now, the two big issues we're going to talk about alongside of our budget this year are two of our other warrant articles that are on the ballot. And those have to do with a facilities project and with class size and the need that we have to add additional teachers. Okay, why does class size matter? Let's talk about some data. First, here are some of our NWEA growth scores across our SAU. I want to take a minute to unpack these. So the NWEA assessment is a globally normed assessment that we give all of our students in grades kindergarten through grade 10. And in that global norming population, we can tell how much growth each student should have from one year to the next, and whether they're performing above average or below average in hitting their growth target. And when you look at our scores, you can tell that our lowest achieving students are performing the best when it comes to growth in our school system. And that makes a lot of sense. We have great intervention programs, great special education programs, and we do a lot of things for students that are struggling learners to make sure that they're getting ahead and catching up. We're very, very proud of those scores. However, on the flip side, look at our highest achieving students. They are not meeting growth targets according to the global norm, meaning our highest achieving students aren't keeping up. They're not growing quickly enough. We think that has a lot to do with class size. So where does our class size rank in the state of New Hampshire? As it turns out, we have some of the largest class sizes in the entire state. Out of over 150 school systems in the state of New Hampshire, we had the third highest class size last year in grades 3 and 4, and we weren't far behind in our other grade levels. So we need two things. We need appropriately sized facilities that can fit the number of classes that we have for the students that are moving to town, and we need the teachers that go along with those facilities. With the facilities we have today, we have a little bit of room to make a difference for the kids that we have today. And so that's where warrant Article 14 comes in. That is an article specifically addressed to help us with our class size with the students that we have today. It adds 4 teaching positions to the budget, 2 that are replacing those that we borrowed this year from Amherst Middle School, and 2 new ones for Amherst Middle School as well in grades 5 and 6. If just the budget passes and that warrant article doesn't pass, our class sizes next year will actually get worse from where they are this year. However, if our budget and that warrant article pass, warrant article number 14, we'll be in better shape. We're not everywhere. We're not going to be exactly where we need to be or where we want to be long term, but it'll be a big step forward for us. The issue is we don't have room for all of the teachers that we need. We need about 19 teachers to have appropriate class size according to our school board standards that have been set in this past year, and we know we simply don't have room for them. And so the facilities warrant article is going to address that in the long term, making sure we have appropriate facilities that provide good air quality, are very secure, and allow for the best learning environment for our students and can fit all the kids that we need, that we have, and all the teachers that we need. Now with the Amherst budget, it's not all bad news. There's some things that help us out. First, because we have more students, we get more state aid. in the form of adequacy aid that helps to offset our budget increase. In addition, we have surpluses from last year's Clark Septic Project and Amherst Middle School Plumbing Project that should go to offset and will go to offset the tax rate this coming fall. So all in all, even though we have a significant budget increase, we only see taxes going up probably about $1 per thousand. Meaning if you have an average home in Amherst, a $353,000 home, your tax bill for the school should go up about $353 next year as a result of the school budget. So that's the Amherst budget. There'll be a lot more discussion coming up at our deliberative sessions, which happen in a couple of weeks. We look forward to having the public participate with us in that. I hope everyone has a great week. Take care and enjoy the snow.